Alright, welcome back everybody. In this video we're going to talk about how we write equations when we're given a slope and a point. And in my opinion, when we're writing an equation given a slope and the point, it's easiest for us to use point-slope form. Y minus y1 equals slope times x, quantity x minus x1. And then convert it to a different form if necessary. You know, if it asks for slope-intercept form or standard form, we can always make that conversion over. Alright, so we need three things in order to write an equation in point-slope form. We need the slope, we need the x-coordinate of the point, and we need the y-coordinate of the point. And everything else stays stable in there. So I look at the information that I'm given here in part A, and I'm told that the slope is -3, so we're going to put that into the equation for the slope. And I'm told that the point has coordinates -1 and 5. So I'm going to put those in their respective positions in the point-slope form and write my equation. So I've got y minus the y-coordinate, which is 5, is equal to the slope times x minus the x-coordinate, which is -1. Now instead of writing x minus -1, I should just go ahead and write that as an x plus 1. And there is an equation that has a slope of -3 and goes through the point -1, 5. We'll do the same thing in part B. We identify we've got a slope of 1/2. The x-coordinate of our point is 5, and the y-coordinate of our point is -3. And so we'll go ahead and substitute those into the appropriate places. We've got y minus -3, so I'm just going to go ahead and make that y plus 3, is equal to 1/2 times the quantity x minus 5. And there's our equation with a slope of 1/2 that goes through the point 5, -3. Okay, easy enough when we're doing that. Now we'll get into some where we're asked for them in a different form. We're supposed to write an equation in slope-intercept form for the following. Now, just because our answer is going to be in slope-intercept form doesn't mean we need to use slope-intercept form to write our original equation. We're going to go ahead and write the equation. Since we're given a slope and a point, we're going to use point-slope form to write our equation, and then we'll convert it over to slope-intercept form. So I've got y minus the y-coordinate is equal to the slope times x minus the x-coordinate. Then I'm going to distribute my 2 through the parentheses. I'm going to add 7 to both sides to convert it over to slope-intercept form. And there's an equation in slope-intercept form that has a slope of 2, and it goes through the point 5, 7. And you can test that here. You can substitute 5 in for x and 7 in for y, and make sure that the equation that you've written actually is true for that particular ordered pair. Alright, do the same thing in part B. We're going to write y minus the y-coordinate is equal to slope times the quantity x minus the x-coordinate, so x minus -2 is x plus 2. And now we need to go through those same two steps. We need to distribute the -1/3 through the parenthesis. Give me -1/3 x, and when I multiply -1/3 times 2, all I do is I multiply the numerator of the fraction times the number, and leave the denominator the same. That's going to be -2/3. And now I want to add 5 to both sides. And for those of you who aren't real comfortable doing arithmetic with fractions, this is a pretty good time to break out your calculator. I'm going to take -2/3, and I'm adding 5 to both sides, so I'll add 5 to that. Gives me a decimal, so I'll go into my math menu, grab the fraction converter, and convert that over to a +13/3. And there's an equation in slope-intercept form of a line that has a slope of -1/3 and goes through the point -2, 5. Alright, one more example, an application problem. Your parents hired a magician as entertainment during your younger brother's birthday party. The magician charges a booking fee and an hourly rate of $45. For 3 hours of entertainment, your parents were charged $200. Which of the following equations represents the magician's charge Y based on the number of hours he works? So our ordered pair, XY, in this equation is going to be the number of hours that he works and how much he charges. So if you look at the information that we have, we're told that 3 hours of work, he charges $200. So that means our point is the point 3, 200. Now our slope is going to be how much y changes when x changes 1 unit. So for every hour that he works, how much does his charge change? And that's going to be his hourly rate. If he charges $45 for 1 hour, he's going to charge $45 more for the next hour. And so our slope is 45. And so we need these two pieces of information. And so I'm going to use my point slope form. Y minus the y coordinate of the point is equal to the slope times the quantity x minus the x coordinate of the point. And this is the equation that I'm looking for, and we find it as option C. Alright, so that's how we can write equations when we're given a slope and a point, and how we can do that when we're dealing with context in an application problem. That's the end of this video. See you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day.